Welcome to the Trap House. My name is Justin Jett, and I'm addicted to trapping. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. Pretty excited to bring this to you. This is just going to be like a little update I'm throwing out there on YouTube, just so everyone can kind of get a feel or an idea what this podcast is all about and where it's going, and future plans basically, because I'm getting a lot of messages right now about, hey, when you going to launch the podcast and what's it going to be like and this, that, and the other. And I just feel like I need to update people because it's taken a little bit of time to get things in order. I made a fancy cool little logo, and just trying to get things laid out, ordered some gear. Hopefully the quality sounds pretty good. We just bought some new recording gear that, hopefully the background noise is subdued somewhat, and keep things nice as far as quality it goes. We're doing the best we can here. We're trappers. We'll make do. You know what I mean? But basically, this podcast is everything and anything trapping related. I'm talking anything from trap line stories to news in the industry, education, events that might be going on, tips, tricks, stuff that could you could learn from in the fur shed. And it really all is going to be driven based off who's going to be on the show. As far as me talking like this, just sitting here in front of a microphone, probably won't happen too much. I might do some updates here and there, but for the most part, there's going to be one-on-one conversations and group discussions. Multiple people. We got multiple mics that we can mic up several people at once, and we can have a real good discussion on whatever topic we want. So, really happy about how all this is coming together so fast, really. But, I've reached out to a few people already that will be more than happy to be on. I won't tell you who exactly because I'm trying to, we'll surprise you. Don't worry. If you're addicted to trapping like I am, you'll be back and you'll find out. But, I'm more laid back. I joke around. I might say something pretty stupid on here. But for the most part, this is pretty serious stuff as far as what we're talking about, Might have the biologist on here talking about certain things that's going on in the state or stuff across the country. So if it doesn't matter where you're from, if you're about trapping, you'll be about this show because this isn't strictly local stuff here in Indiana. We're talking country, around the country, but heavily involved with Fur Takers of America. So we'll probably do stuff there. I'm the president here of the local chapter in Central Indiana, Chapter 7B. So I hear a lot of different things, and we'll talk about some stuff here local, then of course on a national level too. And, I just being involved in where I work, which is Hoosier Trapper Supply, and being on the show, Hoosier Trapper Outdoors on YouTube. If you haven't checked that out, you better check that out. But, obviously Hoosier Trapper is going to be my number one sponsor for all this. And Charlie, the owner, he is pretty much going to be a co-host to all this. He's going to be on like 99% of the shows, I'm sure. For the group discussions and things like that, because the wealth of knowledge that guy has is unbelievable, and my learning curve has been cut tremendously from when I started trapping. I wouldn't, I'd have nothing to do with this without him. So, big shout out to Charlie Mashak, which I'm going to go ahead and say he's on episode 1. We're starting from the bare bones when he first got bit by that trapping bug to where he is now in his life as far as how Hoosier Trapper Supply came to be, because it's a pretty cool story, really. The conversation won't be that back and forth because I've heard it 100 times. I've known Charlie for, over 15 years since I started dating his daughter back in high school, and now we're married. So he's my father-in-law, one of my best friends. He's my trap line partner. He's also my boss, so I got to be careful there, He's a lure and bait formulator. He's heavily involved with Fur Takers of America as well on a national level, local level. He's a Fur Taker Hall of Famer. He works at the Fur Taker college in connection with Purdue University. So, I mean, he's all over the place. And there's so much you can talk about this guy, where he's been and where he's going. He's helped thousands and thousands of people get started trapping. And he just loves the sport. He loves the idea of it and everything around it. I'll let him tell you everything. I'm not gonna, I could sit here and talk about him forever as far as how great he is. And most people know him that are probably tuning into this. I'm preaching to the choir for the most part on that. But heck of a guy. I can't wait till we sit down and actually have that talk here for episode 1. I plan on having everything out hopefully by the end of February, or maybe in March, possibly. But like I said, if you're listening to this, you're on YouTube. They call that the Poor Man's Podcast, which is fine. I'll put it on there as well. But I'm also hitting the heavy hitters on major platforms. So if you have an iPhone, you can hit that, that little podcast app. Bam, type in Trap House Podcast. We should pop right up, and you'll be listening to us. That's the plan anyway. That's where I'm taking all this. So Spotify, there's a bunch of them, and I don't listen to too many podcasts. I gotta admit, I know some that I stick to, but I don't know all the platforms yet. But I'm gonna find out, and I'm do my best to try and get all this stuff out to people. For now, we do have a Facebook like page. It's called Trap House Podcast. Search us. That's where I'm going to be putting up a lot of information here and there about what's going on. As far as time limits go on this, I don't have a projected time frame. We could sit down with somebody and it could be 20 minutes or it could be over an hour. It just depends on what the conversation is like and where it's going. So there's going to be no time frame. And as far as release dates, I don't have projected dateline or anything like that. So you might get 3 podcasts in 1 week, just like spur of the moment thing, or you might get 1 a month. It just kind of depends on the time of year and, who I'm around or, what's going on, things like that. So for now, that's how it's going to be. Like I said, Hoosier Trapper Supply is going to be the main sponsor of all of this, and Charlie's pretty much the co-host. So be prepared to talk to him here soon. And I think I covered everything I wanted to say. I guess leave me a message down in the comments area, if the audio quality sounds all right. Because like I said, I'm still playing with these. There's too many buttons on this thing. I'm trying not to break something. But hopefully this all work out, which I'm sure it will, because I know it's not going to hurt nothing. All we can do is talk about trapping, get people pumped up about it, and hopefully it encourages them to get out in the field and, be about it. Let's trap. Thanks for tuning in.